Now, Cabinet Secretary for Defence Rachel Amamo has asked Kenyans to remain patient following the Al-Shabaab on KDF soldiers on Friday in El Ade in Somalia. Amamo was speaking at the Wilson Airport following the arrival of the bodies of our fallen heroes.
For information following this attack, KDF's priority, as is the norm with military operations, was to degrade the enemy, which we have already done through a concerted effort of both land and air assets in the last 72 hours. We embarked on a search, rescue, and recovery operation as a priority. I repeat, we embarked on a search, rescue, and recovery operation as a priority. However, it should be noted that this is a delicate operation, and we will not allow any further casualties. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, Al-Shabaab are now evolving and competing for space. Nonetheless, this does not undermine our operational and combat capability. Our resolve to combat terrorism remains. As we speak, right now, our troops are engaging the terrorists, and it is therefore imperative that we desist from divulging details that might compromise operational security. However, we will keep Kenyans updated as the events unfold. For the brave soldiers, men and women of the Kenya Defence Forces, as we stand for our core values and maintain our vision and mission, I commend you for the fighting spirit and professionalism that you have displayed. Let us keep the momentum. As to our families who have taken every step with us, I thank you. I assure you that the KDF fraternity will stand with you till the end. Special gratitude goes to our friends, our partners, and all Kenyans and the media for standing with the KDF. I salute you. Finally, I reiterate the Commander-in-Chief's assurance that the blood of our fallen heroes was not shed in vain. We will fight them deep in their hideouts, we will smoke them out of their caves, and we will follow them to the end in honor of every drop of blood of our fellow Kenyans. I thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, CDF, sir.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll have two questions, as I indicated to you earlier, so that we can allow the CDF, the CS and the CDF to go back to where they are.
Are we expecting any more survivors, and when will the bodies arrive?
As I said, search, rescue, and recovery operations are ongoing as we are able to evacuate our soldiers from the operational areas. And once we inform the families, we will update you. What I am asking for now from all Kenyans is patience. It's patience and calm. We must remain steady. We must remain united. We must remain unbowed in the face of this attack. Please be patient. The information will be availed as soon as we can verify it. We are determined to bring our soldiers home.
Thank you. Let's just get only one, kindly, from yes, Ombati.
When I see it and what I do, people are asking me what happened. And I would love to talk to the India soldiers briefly. What happened and how did it happen? No prisoners of war?
Yes, we don't have most of the figures.
Now, our reporter Zinzi Kibiku is at the Wilson Airport. Zinzi, if you can hear me, emotions must be running high there. How is the mood?
Good afternoon, Najma. That's right. We are at the Wilson Airport where the injured have just arrived from Al-Ade, and Cabinet Secretary of Defense Rachel Omama has spoken. She was telling Kenyans that she's very grateful for the sort of appreciation and patience Kenyans have given during this time. And she says that the area in itself, the region, is still very much unsafe. And the search and rescue operation is still a priority that the KDF have put ahead. But if there's one thing, Najma, that we should notice is that they haven't given figures yet, numbers yet, of those who are injured and those who we had lost. When we were here, or rather when we were welcoming the injured soldiers, there were only 2 from where I could stand. There were only 2 and they were given aid at that specific moment. But as for the numbers of those we have lost during Friday attacks, that hasn't been issued yet. And the Cabinet Secretary has said that the blood of the fallen heroes will not go in vain, and that they are in a pursuit to make sure that the search and rescue operation is still ongoing. Najma?
Zinzi, are there any family members of the fallen heroes there at Wilson?
Well, Najma, there are a couple of people here who have been waiting, but I wouldn't want to assume that they are the families and friends of the people who have arrived. We have not been allowed to speak to any of them. Nevertheless, even amongst ourselves as reporters, it's a very somber mood, especially when the few injured people are getting treated. Najma, you could tell there was just so much silence and in the area. It's so sad.
And how is the security on the ground? How are you guys, the media, able to, conduct your duties?
Of course, Najma, it was a bit difficult. There are a few policemen around the area. We also we saw a few couples of armed men. And I will not lie to you, it was a bit difficult to get some of the information, even to talk to people, for us to put our tripods and our cameras in place. That has been a hassle since morning when we were here at 11 a.m. Najma.
Thank you very much, Zinzi Kibiku, keeping an eye on that story. She is at Wilson Airport, where the bodies of our fallen heroes have arrived. We'll be giving you comprehensive coverage of that report in our subsequent bulletins. Now, to Kericho now, little known Aaron Cheriot, a Moi University mass communication graduate, is the Jubilee Party nominee for the Kericho Senate seat. Now, Cheriot trounced bigwigs like former State House Controller Franklin Bett, former ODM Executive Director Margaret Langat and Paul Chepkoni to get the nomination. He will now battle it out in the by-election with unexpected strong opposition from KANU and Mashinana parties. Murimi Mwangi reports from Kericho.
In a surprise victory that shook 3 Kericho political heavyweights who had been taunted as the most favorite in the race for the Jubilee Alliance Party ticket. Aaron Cheriot, a 29-year-old mass communication graduate from Moi University, clinched the JAP ticket after garnering most of the votes cast in the nomination exercise. A victory that turned Kericho Teachers College Hall, where the tallying exercise was being conducted, into a carnival of song and dance after the clock ticked 3 a.m. as the final results from Bureti constituency trickled in.
I really want to thank God for this opportunity. It's been a fantastic day on the campaign trail. When this seat fell vacant, I contacted a few friends of mine and we decided that we are going to give it a try. And we all agreed that we are going to give it the best shot of our life. So for the residents of Kericho County to agree that they want this young man to take on the baton and lead as their senator, it's a great honor.
And I also want to thank the competitors, Honorable Margaret, Honorable Bett, and also Honorable Sam Chepkoni for conceding the defeat and also for promising to support him. We are looking forward to seeing a very, very successful campaign, and we are also looking forward to seeing the new senator of Kericho, Mr. Aaron, a young man.
Earlier in the night, a confrontation between the election officials and Cheriyot's supporters almost degenerated into a stampede in the hall as the seemingly enraged Cheriyot's supporters raised concern that there may have been plans to rig the victory from him after over 2,000 votes were reported as either spoiled or rejected in the Kipkelion East constituency.
No, you listen, because finally you have to make a decision, isn't it? But if we shout at one another, I don't think it will work.
The youthful man, whose first stint at politics was in Moi University campus polls, which earned him an expulsion from campus, flawed political heavyweights including former Roads Minister Franklin Bett and former ODM Executive Director Magrer Langat and former National Corporation Housing Chairman Sammy Chepkwony.
I know it's an enormous responsibility taking over this baton as a young person. There are so many challenges ahead, but I take on this baton on behalf of all the young people who believe that we can build on a better Kenya and a better Africa. I want to challenge myself that for the things that I have promised on the campaign trail, that I fulfill each of them.
Kwa sababu leo nimetuamulia nani ambaye atapeperusha bendera ya Jubilee kwa hii kinyang'anyiro ya Senate, ndio? Na mimi nashukuru chama kwa sababu wamejaribu kadiri wawezavyo kutengeneza uchaguzi iliyo sawa, na tunaamini ya kwamba imeenda jinsi ilivyokuwa ikienda, si ndio?
And in what is slowly shaping up into a youth versus the old guard duel, the 29-year-old will now face former Bureti MP Paul Sang, who is contesting the seat under the KANU ticket. The face-off is likely to promise nothing less than political fireworks, as the two parties hungrily scramble for the Kalenjin vote ahead of the 2017 general election. Muremi Mwangi, KTN News.
Now let's join Murimi Mwangi to tell us more about the 29-year-old. Murimi, how was Aaron able to actually beat the heavyweights? We seem to have lost Murimi Mwangi, but we're trying to get him later on in the bulletin. Let's now take a short break, but don't go too far. I will be back with more news. Welcome back to the Weekend at 1. Now, for how long can you endure sitting on a small stone, and how attentive would you be while in that position? Well, that is the situation of pupils of a public school in some parts of Pokotland go through to acquire education. Lack of classrooms has seen Natural Primary School conduct classes outside under a tree, especially for the lower classes. Here is a story by Kamche Menza.
It has been a long walk in search of knowledge for these young nursery pupils. But finally, they have reached their destination. Others are already in class. Each one of them takes their position. And when the teacher comes in, others are rearranged. And class begins. This is how they have learned to get the key to life the hard way.
Number value.
Sitting on stones under the sun. This is Nachurur Primary in Churo, a public school in the interior of Pokotland.
Mtoto anakaa wakati anajaribu kuandika fiti yake, anakaa kidogo, anauma mkongo, anafaa atembee kidogo.
Na wanafunzi wanatoka sehemu mbalimbali, kilomita 6, kilomita 7, kilomita 8, hivyo.
A few meters away is another class. This is class 1 and then class 2. Yet again, children braving the torture of having to concentrate while feeling so uncomfortable.
Ilianza mwaka 2008 ndo kwa shule ya chekechea ikienda hivyo kipanda.
Tena? But up until now, the situation has not changed much. This is the only permanent structure here. 3 classrooms. They say 2 rooms were built by a church in 2010 and the other by an organization in 2015. The rooms are used to teach 2 different classes simultaneously.
Crocodile.
Class 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Others use these makeshift structures.
Tuko na walimu wa TSC ni wawili, alafu hii ya county ni wawili.
Standard 6. Mwalimu akiongea huku atuziki ya huyu kwa sababu tunasikia ya ule na ya ule tena. Hata tukifika nyumbani tunaulizwa mmefunza nini, tunashinda na kenye tunasema. Sasa tunataka tusaidie darasa lingine.
Wengine wanatoka nyumbani kama hawachakula chochote. Wengine wanabidi walie darasani, na watu wameanza kuhama wampeleka wanafunzi wetu, na sasa hii hawajafungua wengi kwa sababu ya chakula.
This year, the school is expected to give out its first lot of KCPE candidates. Nachurur is a word that can be loosely translated to mean waterfalling or a waterfall, symbolic of abundance and good life. But what the children here are going through is a struggle. Kamche Menza, KTN, at Nachurur Primary School in Churo, Baringo County.
Now, it is often said that Kenyans have lost their taste for reading owing to the predominant use of the internet and other forms of media. However, in Oyugis, Homa Bay County, locals looking to turn their lives around are flocking to the Shirikisho Library to read the few available books. The robust reading culture in the area is now creating a huge demand for more books as locals seek to quench their thirst for knowledge. Trix Ingado with that story.
Meet Jane Achieng. Jane spends most of her time at this construction site doing back-breaking jobs for a pay. Jobs traditionally dominated by strong young men. The fact that she is only one of 2 women here does not bother her. She is determined to make ends meet. It is her dream for a better future that keeps her going. She wants to at least start a salon or tailoring business of her own. In an ideal world, though, she would love to be a doctor. A rather ambitious dream for a 24-year-old who did not complete her studies. When not keeping up with fellow construction workers, Jen is vending groundnuts at the Oyugis shopping center. To turn her dreams into a reality, Jane spends every extra moment she has away from work at the Oyugis Shirikisho Community Library, brushing up on her knowledge, never mind that she can barely speak or read Swahili, let alone English.
Toka nadak giji ginya min mama wanen ne teach ngeny okanyal to koro sani napoka nyasayo miya paro machako chielo njugu mondo ausi. Koro aneno ni apang goda to moka chulo ta somo to anyalo ng'iyo moko be apidhora godo moko ba chulo got agombo somo. Koro gimomiyo nabiro tich ka mondo ayud kaka chulo ot, kanyalo chiemo, kaka anyalo dak, anyalo yiero tich mar saloon kata tuwengo, kata kadhi mbele masomo tanyalo bedo daktari kata lawyer.
Jane's story is typical of many locals here. Owing to poverty and other problems, many have missed a chance at a proper education. This, however, does not deter them from quenching their thirst for knowledge. Sylvester Onduto Karisa is a 38-year-old with a Juakali welding business. While this helps him feed his wife and child, it is not lost on him that in order for his business to grow, he needs a formal education.
I've got some, I'm limited, I cannot be employed somewhere. At the same time, if I go to work to some institutions like schools, like hospitals, they need papers.
So for the past 4 years, he has spent exactly 2 hours every day here studying with the help of other members of the library. He hopes to one day be ready enough to sit for his KCPE exams.
And another brother took over this project and made a structure. He said, this project, that should be a project. Well, before it was not a project. It was simple helping people who came but there was a flood of people every day coming.
We have several students who have joined university as a result of this place, the fruits of this project.
Many students in local schools have this library to thank for their academic progress. With textbook prices being too high and poverty being a barrier, the walls of Shirikisho Community Library are a safe haven for scholars and avid readers. The constant stream of locals coming to the library to read a book or two is the clearest pointer to the need of locals to learn and change their lives for the better. Kenyans have been accused of having a low reading culture, but how can this be a plausible concept when many do not have access to good reading material? When the Safaricom Foundation, among other donors, decided to fill the shelves of this library with books, the membership went from 101 members to over 2,000, an indicator that it is not a low reading culture that is the problem, but the access to basic reading material. To meet this need, the government and would-be donors will need to do more for the readers of Oyugis, as it goes without question that development and literacy are mutually exclusive. Trix Ingado, Oyugis, Homa Bay County, for KTN News.
Well, thank you very much for watching The Weekend at 1. My name is Najma Ismail.